What if I told you that most of what you think about yoga is completely wrong? That the poses you see all over Instagram were barely part of yoga for thousands of years? Or that NASA has actually studied yoga breathing for astronauts? I'm the director of the American Yoga Academy, and today I'm giving you 10 facts about yoga that will change the way you see this practice forever. Number 10 might be the one that shocks you the most, so stick around. And hey, for those new to the channel, welcome, and for those not new, welcome back. I've spent years training teachers and studying the history of this practice at the American Yoga Academy, and honestly, some of these facts surprised even me the first time I learned them. Let's get into it. Fact number 1, yoga is over 5,000 years old. Yoga is not a wellness trend from the last few decades. Its roots stretch back 5,000 years at least to the Indus Valley civilization in what's now Pakistan and Northwest India. Archaeologists have found seals depicting figures in meditative, cross-legged postures that look strikingly similar to poses we still practice today. Yoga has outlasted entire empires, languages, and civilizations. Think about that next time you roll out your mat, that you're participating in something that's older than most of recorded history. Fact number 2, yoga doesn't mean what you think. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to yoke, join, or unite. It's not primarily about flexibility or exercise. It's about union of body and mind, union of the individual with something greater than themselves. The physical postures we call yoga in the West are really just one small tool inside a much bigger philosophical and spiritual system. When you hear yoga, think union, not stretching. Fact number 3, physical poses are a surprisingly recent addition to yoga. And this surprises almost everyone I teach. For most of yoga's history, physical postures, what we call asanas, were a tiny part of the practice. Ancient yoga was overwhelmingly about meditation, breath control, and ethical living. The huge variety of standing, balancing, and stretching poses that we associate with a modern yoga class largely developed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, influenced very much by European gymnastics and physical cultural movements of that era. The yoga class you took this week is a fairly modern invention layered on top of an ancient philosophy. Fact number 4, yoga has its own ancient rulebook. Around the year 400, a sage named Patanjali compiled something called the Yoga Sutras. It was a collection of 196 short aphorisms that laid out an 8-limbed path for living a disciplined, ethical, focused life. Only one of those 8 limbs deals with physical postures. The rest cover things like self-restraint, breath control, concentration, and meditation. It's essentially one of the oldest self-improvement guides in human history. Fact number 5. There are more than just a few types of yoga. In fact, there are about dozens. When people say, I do yoga, that could mean wildly different things. There's Hatha yoga, which focuses on physical postures and breath. There's Bhakti yoga, which is centered on devotion and faith. There's Karma yoga, which focuses on selfless action. There's Jnana yoga, centered on knowledge and self-inquiry. Raja yoga focuses on meditation, and that's just scratching the surface. The physical class that you attend at a studio is almost always a modern blend rooted primarily in Hatha yoga, just one branch of a much bigger tree. Fact number 6, yoga breathing has been studied by NASA. And this one always gets a reaction. Controlled breathing techniques from yoga, called pranayama, have been studied by NASA and other researchers interested in how astronauts can manage stress, focus, and cardiovascular function in extreme environments. Slow, controlled breathing has measurable effects on the nervous system. And that's exactly why an ancient technique for meditation is now being examined through a very modern scientific lens. Fact number 7, yoga almost died out entirely, and then one man saved it. Yoga actually nearly disappeared. During centuries of colonial rule in India, many traditional practices, including yoga, were suppressed or fell out of favor. It was largely revived and modernized in the early 20th century by teachers like Krishnamacharya, often called the father of modern yoga. Nearly every major yoga style practiced in the West today, whether Ashtanga, Iyengar, Vinyasa, traces its lineage back to his teaching. Fact number 8, laughter yoga is a real documented practice. And this is just fun. Laughter yoga is a real practice developed in India in the 1990s. It combined forced intentional laughter with yogic breathing. Practitioners have found it can genuinely shift mood and reduce stress. Even when the laughter starts out completely fake, it tends to become real within minutes. There are laughter yoga clubs that meet in public parks all over the world. Fact number 9, there is a Guinness Book of World Records record for the largest yoga class ever. So yes, yoga has broken Guinness World Records. Mass yoga events, mostly organized around International Yoga Day, which the United Nations officially recognized starting in 2015, have drawn well over 100,000 participants practicing simultaneously in a single location. Picture a stadium or an entire city street filled edge to edge with people moving through the same sequence at the same time. Fact number 10, yoga has genuinely measurable effects on the brain. Finally, the fact I promised you from the start, researchers using brain imaging have found that consistent long-term yoga and meditation practice is associated with measurable structural differences in the brain, including in regions linked to attention, emotional regulation, and stress response. This isn't just, hey, the ancient practice makes you feel calmer. Scientists are now watching in real time how thousands of years of practice can quite literally reshape the way we think and respond to stress. That's the meeting point of ancient wisdom and modern science, and it's exactly why we do what we do here at the American Yoga Academy. So there you have it, 10 facts that might actually change the way you look at yoga, whether you've been practicing for years or you've never rolled out a mat in your life. If you learned something today, please hit subscribe. It helps us put out more videos like this one. And let me know in the comments which one of these 10 facts surprised you the most. I read every comment, so don't be shy. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.